Hello guys, welcome to today's informative session, and today I'm going to talk about something very that is not so simple, and I'm going to talk about dysfunctional uterine bleeding or abnormal uterine bleeding. It's a topic in women health, and I'll start by definition, just simple definition. DUB or AUB is the irregular uterine bleeding without any identifiable pelvic pathology or medical cause or pregnancy, because these are the things that would basically lead to bleeding of the uterus. And this actually suggests a disturbed cyclic hormonal ovulatory stimulation of the reproductive system in women, and there are no causes, like specific causes that are, like can be said to be the cause. But then the International Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecology, FIGO, has come up with a mnemonic that like tries to give us the etiology. Of course, people who are in school and people who are in studying their medicine would love to have such mnemonics. And the mnemonic is palm coin. P for polyps, uterine polyps. A for adenomyosis. L for leiomyoma, which is the uterine fibroids that everyone knows. M for malignancy, that is cancer. And then C for coagulopathy. Coagulopathies are, bleeding disorders, and they also have their own causes, whether hepatic, renal, they have their causes. And then O is ovulatory disorders, like we have the very specific one, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which, from menarche throughout to menopause, a lady would present with irregular bleeding and most of the times with anovulation. This is PCOS. Then we go to E is endometrial causes. I is iatrogenic. By iatrogenic, we mean doctor related or hospital related, like medicine that you are taking, which might cause abnormal bleeding. Then M is others that we cannot really point out and say this is the cause. So about the signs and symptoms, it's just abnormal uterine bleeding, and it's unpredictable. It can be frequent, it can be prolonged, it can be just random. So you cannot pick and say this is a flow or this is how it's supposed to be. So when we go to the like in the diagnosis of this particular condition, we have things that we do actually to rule out other causes, to rule out pathological causes, or to rule out other causes that might lead to uterine bleeding. And first is a beta HCG, the human chorionic gonadotropin, which is of course indicative of pregnancy or gestational trophoblastic neoplasms. So if you do your HCG and it comes out positive, this person is pregnant, or this person is having an hydatidiform mole, or is having something else, a GTN. The other one is ultrasonography. Ultrasonography, ultrasounds would pick, polyps, uterine polyps. It will pick endometrial hyperplasia. It will pick all the, all those small things that might cause uterine bleeding, and even other major things. The other thing is a complete blood count. Of course, to rule out, like someone having a bleeding disorder will have maybe like thrombocytopenia, low platelets. So complete blood count, the CBC. And then we can also do other investigations, like you can do TFTs for the thyroid, you can do your prolactin levels, and so many others. But the first three are specific: beta HCG, ultrasound, and a complete blood count. Let's now go to history. How would someone with like what history is your doctor going to take from you if you go with abnormal uterine bleeding? The doctor would want to know about history of pregnancy. So they'll ask you about signs and symptoms of pregnancy. They'll also ask about you about moliminal symptoms, like symptoms that precede the normal uterine bleeding of menstruation. They'll also ask you about family history of bleeding disorders, because if you have a family history, then you are more likely, you're actually likely to get abnormal uterine bleeding also, because it's still in the bleeding. Then you'll also try to rule out, ask you questions to rule out any local or systemic disease that might cause uterine bleeding. That's about the history. In the physical examination, doctors should look at things that are suggestive of derangements in the body that can cause abnormal uterine bleeding. And by this, I'm looking about excessive growth of hair in the body, hirsutism, because of androgen excess, that is caused by PCOS, the polycystic ovarian syndrome that I just talked about. We look about galactorrhea, that is, like excretion from the breast, which is caused by, excessive prolactin, which is also can be also a cause of abnormal uterine bleeding. They'll look at the thyroid, goiters, hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism are also likely to cause abnormal uterine bleeding. And they'll also look at obesity, ecchymosis, and petechia, which are suggestive of bleeding disorders, like when you get someone with a petechia or ecchymosis. So from there, we'll go to now we'll go to differential diagnosis. There are so many, because anything that would cause even the slightest of bleeding through the female reproductive system would be a differential diagnosis. We'll start with the local ones: cervicitis, cancer of the cervix. Then we go up: endometrial hyperplasia, endometriosis, endometritis, uterine polyps, uterine cancer, endometrial cancer. Ectopic pregnancy also causes bleeding. Go to polycystic ovarian syndrome, like I said, it causes an irregular bleeding. And then go to gestational trophoblastic neoplasms, like hydatidiform moles, among others. And elective abortions. Elective abortions actually present with the uterine bleeding. So those are the differentials. And after that, we can discuss something small about the management. And the mainstay of management for abnormal uterine bleeding, or DUB, is medical management. Surgical management is only indicated if medical management fails to do away with the symptoms. And in medical management, the treatment that is mostly indicated is a hormone produced by the female reproductive system called progesterone, and it is prescribed as a progestin. For all the ages, progestin is indicated. The most commonly used is levonorgestrel. For adolescents, we can use combined oral contraceptive pills, but in a low dose. For ages between 19 years and 39, we can use progestins and combined oral contraceptive pills. And then for ages above 40 years, we can use cyclic, now not continuous, but cyclic progestins, which is levonorgestrel. And you can also use IUDs or intrauterine devices containing levonorgestrel. And we can also use the combined oral contraceptives, but on a very low dose of the same. So when you go to surgical management, after now the medical management has failed, the main three that are usually used are endometrial ablation. That's for patients presenting with hyperplasia of the endometrium, which is the lining of the uterus, or dilatation and curettage for the same, or hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is now the removal of the uterus and is indicated mainly for people who are beyond the reproductive age and they are still presenting with the symptoms of DUB, and it's actually taken together with we don't spare the cervix, because the cause again of this DUB might be a cause that might disturb in the future. So those are the managements. That's about DUB. Next week we'll be discussing about something else. Again, like I said, if you want us to discuss about something, please go down to the comment section. Let us know what you think we can discuss, and we'll take into consideration all the suggestions that have been made, and we'll pick a topic and discuss. Again, we are still in the middle of a pandemic. All I advise you is take care and keep safe, and protect your families, your loved ones from COVID-19. Make sure you are always putting on your mask, keeping social distance when you are in public places, and of course observing hand hygiene. Again, up to next week, I want to leave you with whatever we've discussed. If you have any issue, just comment right in the comment section and let us know. We'll appreciate. Again, I still request you to ask your friends to subscribe to our channel so that we move together, like we continue getting these doses together. And I'll appreciate to see you all there in the channel, commenting and watching and viewing. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Have a nice one.